let us start this lecture 5 with a thought process from a great scientist Albert Einstein. I like him very much because he talks something which touches my heart. The concern for man and his destiny must always be the chief interest of all technical effort. That we are not doing today. We are doing technology or the other thing for the market. Never forget it among your diagrams and equations. We do that. We use a lot of diagrams, equations, but what for those things? Those are for the human welfare. That is a very important point I must tell you to you people. So, let us recall that what we learnt, and we learnt a lot from the Kautilya, the what you call, he is also known as Chanakya, the great person India has produced, a great teacher, that Navena Anvayam Sodhaya, that means we will have to do research and re-look at the old stuff and use it modern time. And then we look at chronological order, whatever the little amount of scriptures we could manage to keep in spite of number of innovations, right, and 1000 years of being subjugation by the powers which were there in this country, and we find plethora of informations and knowledge our ancestors were having. But I will now just to complete that taking from what you call 900 to 1200 AD. If you look at, this is a Ganita Sara Samagra of Mahavira, and Rasha Hridaya of Govinda Bhatta, Krishi Parasara of and also the Briksha Ayurveda. If you look at, these are the scriptures what we are having, these are the things whatever there, like lot of things are not there, and this is the Rasha Hridaya and of Govinda Bhatta, and the Krishi Parasara, it is about agriculture. This is Briksha Ayurveda, about how to take care of plants and other things. And during this period, there is a lot of manuals people have done for agriculture, like and botany, and of course, like use of mineral medicines, and there is a encyclopedic work is there, and there is a lot of things have come into pictures what we are getting, like summation of series and Sridhar method of solving quadratic equation. I mean, the quadratic equation we know the how to solve, we use it in schools and colleges, but there is various ways given by Sridhar, and you might be aware iron pillar at Dhar, and a lot of alchemical ideas were being used at that time, and we are having iron casting, paper making, and several other things, like there is a book of Mana Solasa Somadeva, right, this book. And in from 1300 to 1500, this is basically Sarangadhara Samhita. There is a one book which we are having, which talk about materia medica, and also the urine and pulse examination of the body they were doing. It is not that today we are only doing the examination, they do that earlier days, and new dimension to astronomical and mathematical work. There is a book, a lot of chemistry books have we got it, I mean, like Rasa Ratnaka, Rasa Samuchaya, like these are the books what I am trying to tell. And there is a pyrotechnic, like method of doing that, it is came up, and we are having evidence for. Beside this, we are having Kerala school of mathematics, and as I told, like Kerala, from Kerala it went to the western countries, lot of mathematics too, and they started looking at seriously. And complex chemical processes, as you were telling, pyrotechnics and the other things were also came up at that time, what historian admitted, they are saying it. So, 1600 and 1700, like of course, there is a lot of factories being established, because if you look at there, it is the Mughal and the Britishers, period kind of things, and the industry and other thing they are doing. Basically, cottage industry was in what to call, were there earlier, because we always have a cottage industries if you look at our history, but these are the big industries, little medium level come up, and then our things also got this thing destroyed in the process. And of course, the gun and gunpowders came into pictures, like we are having lot of cannons and astronomical ideas, of course scrapped. Still we are doing that thing, like agriculture, perfumery, perfumes were being used by the Mughal or the Muslim rulers, and we are having, and perfumes were also earlier there, but they were using for that, and therefore lot of this thing. 1800 AD onwards, we are having also still this knowledge generation was continuing in spite of invasion, it was going on. And unfortunately, this 1800 2000, that several technologies we have taken from the outside country at the cost of indigenous technology. So, our own people are become jobless, and even in spite of apathy for them, still you will go to the rural area, you go to even Kanpur city, you will find some kumbhar jo kehte hai, potterers, you will be finding some blacksmiths, and then they are doing a wonderful work in spite of all these things. And according to me, India being a populous country, it should not go for the what you call mass producing and also the machines, such that our people jobless. We should go for the what you call the cottage industry, so that more employment can be generated, and also the creativity can be developed. Let me tell you what I think. I think is that this is the patent Raj. Patent is killing the creativity, and also the market forces are taking, and then it should be people should have knowledge, not the market forces. Earlier days our country will always believe people should have knowledge, scientific knowledge, technological knowledge, they can involve in creativity and enjoy the life. So, that we need to revive. I must urge all of you, do not go after the job, create the job for others and develop a eco-friendly technologies, so that more people can be employed and more people can be creative and enjoy their life. So, therefore, we need to look at what we need, and this ancient science and technology can give us way to do that. Let me now look at two little, this is about chronological, right. What I am now trying to tell you, like little more details about that, and we will go back to the Harappan civilizations, and that geographical setting, if you look at, it is the north side, the Himalayan regions, right. If you look at, like these are which is not shown here, but these are the Himalayan region, here it will be, and eastern basically passable low heap, and this is basically in this region, this is the Harappan culture we are having. This is, you call it Kabul, and this is your Indus river, and this is Jhelum river, as and the Chenab, Ravi and Satluj, all are joining to this, and the nearby this, like earlier days the Saraswati river was there, people are saying. And this is your Mohenjo-daro, which is the spot, and as I told you that Mehergarh is the place here where, which is the one of the Harappan sites, and Kalibangan region also is one of the Harappan, and Lothar, let me look at it where it is, Lothar here, these also Harappan sites. These are, if you look at whole regions, are basically Harappan region, this region what you call, this is the region what people have accepted in a, okay. And so, one side is, west side is your Arabian Sea, and this is your in the north west side, this side basically you will be having the passable Hindu Kush Parvat, like mountain will be there, and Khyber Pass, and of course, north side is the plain of Indus. This is Ganges rivers. If you look at, this is your Yamuna, and these are the Ganga river here, okay. And these are the Gangetic plains regions. This region is the Gangetic plain regions, and this is, of course, this region is the your Deccan region, southern side, and high plateau, extremely dry this regions, and the border on the east and west by mountains. As I told you, there will be Eastern Ghats here in this region, Eastern Ghats, and this is Western Ghats, separated from the north by river, low mountains. Of course, we are having, and if you look at that is very important, because this sea is, controls your monsoon wind, and so also the Himalaya. These are the things what govern, and we are destroying this Eastern Ghat and Western Ghats and other mountains as well, right. We are spoiling it, and we do not know what we are doing. So, how to overcome, because people want to have a what you call buildings, the rooms which is made out of concrete. Now, from where they will get stone? From the mountains. If you look at 130 crore people, if everybody will having a house which is made of concrete, then where will be mountains? And the life of a concrete house is 50 years. Then after that what will do? Again, where after the mountains you destroy, then where will go? So, mountain has to be protected. How to go about it? Is there any technology we can have a good house, a pakka house, right, not out of mud, and also do that? How to do that? Can you get any technology from the ancient time? I will show you that later on, that we can do that. So, of the what you call October to April is the dye season generally, but nowadays it is changing. It is so also the of the Indian Ocean, maybe in September, the wet seasons, right, May to September, there is a lot of rain kind of things, and this is helps. I will tell you that we should take care of ecology, and then that is the geographical kind of thing. So, if you look at, as I told, that this is the Khyber or you call it Khyber Pass, or this is the Hindu Kush mountain range, and this is your Harappan side, Indus what you call river it goes, and these are the sites I have told already, right. So, these Indus Valley regions were having a rich deposit, but of course, it was like Nile, they always compare with the Nile river, right, in the, and wheat and barley were cultivated in the Indus Valley, what people are already found out, and then cultivated cotton before 3000 BC, right. And if you look at this Harappan and Mohenjo-daro, like if you look at your Harappan is here in this city one, and Mohenjo-daro in this region, right, that is the place, and possibly they might have served as a twin capitals, like the today we are having twin capitals. So, and each city had a fortified citadel, that means where the administrative people will be there, it will be also protected, and a large granary, that means lot of food stuff they will be storing in that, and those streets I will be showing something later on, I am just telling now, the broad streets and marketplaces, temples and public buildings were there, like whatever we are having in modern time, and that is something 6000 BC according to the new data, otherwise 3000 BC. Okay. So, and they were having standardized weights, measures and arc kind of things, which I will not be talking, but it is there, and they were having very good architecture, they were using burnt bricks as well. So, domestic trades like they were having, like items like pottery, tools, metals, like, and also they are using a lot of other items like cottons, and they were trading with Mesopotamians, Greek and other things from something 2300 to 1750 BC. If you look at these are the products what they are having, like this is the thing what you do, base, right. Even today also we are doing this flower base, and these are basically weight, you can see this one, right, and these are of course the dolls and then kind of things, and various motifs are being used, like so of course there is a various phases people have divided, they call it basically Ravi phase or early Harappan phase, Kot Diji phase. Kot Diji is not shown in this diagram, it will be somewhere in one place, and Harappan phase A, Harappa phase B, Harappa phase C, depending upon this chronological years, and Harappa late Harappan transitional, and then late Harappan is something 1800 BC to 1300 BC. What of course, these numbers also will be varying from different group of people. So, if you look at, let us look at Indus Valley civilizations, and as I told, they were having a lot of engineering components, and they were following the decimal divisions of measurements for all practical purpose that what we use, and including the measurement of mass. They were also knowing how to measure the mass, that like we use kg, gram and other things. And if you look at they are having the Indus Valley utensils, you can see it is so nice looking, and then they could have, and so also the dancing girl of Mohenjo-daro. If you look at this kind of things are being used by the Gujarati people even today. These are bangles, okay. These bangles are still today. That means from that onwards we are having the tradition. That means our culture is living. So, this is, there is several signature you will get, you will have to look at it, you will look at it with that eye. So, these are also the what you call, they are using a lot of ornaments for their to the these are the very fine minute ornaments, how they are making, what are the technology they were having. Today if I want to make, I will have to use sophisticated machine. Do they had sophisticated machines? How they were making those things, right? They may be having, we do not know, but if you think of, it is very difficult. And this, if I ask all of you engineering people, like if I will ask how to make this thing, very few people will tell me, look, you can make this way, okay. So, these are the things we need to say, how they are making, what are the precision, how they are doing, like red pottery, like if you have a very good motive, it is having design, how they are doing, and still existing after so many. These are all evidence from that excavation. It is not that some picture has been made later on. So, very interestingly, if you look at a paper published in Nature, which is a very prestigious journal, right, and the best or the most prestigious journal is Nature. They published in 2006, and about the how people were doing this in vivo, in a living person they were doing the drilling the human teeth. Today also we do, if you are old or something, your teeth has gone bad, they were doing at that time, and that has been proved. And 11 drill molar crowns from the 9 adults were discovered in the Neolithic graveyard in Mehrgarh. I talked about Mehrgarh, where it is a city place that dates from some 3500 to 5000 years ago. Again they are saying this, where they have dated. Of course, IIT Kharagpur is saying 1000 years again more than this. But according to author, their discoveries point to the tradition of proto-dentistry in the early farming culture of that region, because our culture, if you look at it, is farming, agriculture. I remember when Gyani Jail Singh, he was the president, he told in foreign country, what is your culture? He told spontaneously agriculture. I used to laugh at him, but today I realize he was true. Agriculture is the culture of our country. The village is the soul of our country. We should keep the village culture intact, so also the urban. It is not that only village will be there. We always live in urban and village kind of thing, both are important. So, therefore, we need to learn these things, how they are manufacturing, and I am sure that they were not using that machine of what we are using, they were using the cottage industry by using the mind and hand. It is a balance between mind and hand. So, that we are having, it is there in our blood, we need to revive it. So, if you look at there is a lot of this thing which I have already talked, I will not talk about that, but I will tell you that one thing, the Harappan society was free from man-made destructions. Today we do that. If you look at newspaper, lot of destruction we are doing. We are not at peace, the society is not at peace because of blatant misuse, abuse of the technologies. So, and no evidence of warfare invasions, and of course, why it was collapsed is the one question that might be arising in your mind. Maybe it is due to some kind of climatic change, or maybe they had used the technology at that time blatantly and spoiled the world, therefore, it got extinct. There are several questions looming around, and you people may do research to find out why that civilization got extinct at that time till and then again new phase started later on around 500 BC. Now, I will come to the Vedic era. So, you must be knowing that Veda is divided into 4 types, one is Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sam Veda, Athar Veda. So, it is texts are available today, it is very difficult to read. If you want to read, you will have to learn Ashtadhyayi, that grammar. I am afraid very few people are there in this country who can teach you, properly, and we need to revive that, otherwise you cannot understand the Vedas. And the basic text is 4 Vedas, as I told, and each Vedas will be having Samhita, Brahmanas, Aranyaka and Upanishads. These are all various parts which need to be looked at it. Of course, I do not know, I could not understand, I was trying to read Vedas, but I will tell you I like the Upanishads, which is very easier and simpler and very profound in that, and one should study that. Of course, with the help of somebody one can look at Vedas. And there are supplemented texts 6 Vedangas and complemented texts 4 Upangas which are still existing. There might be several other things. Main ancient knowledge system is basically 14 disciplines. So, if you look at this is basically 6 and 4, 10 and then this 4 total is 14 as of now. So, supplementary text if you look at it will be Siksha, Siksha means education, and also the phonetics. Phonetics very plays important. Today we do not know phonetics, we do not know the science because ours is a phonetic based language, but we do not know how it is, and that is being emphasized earlier days. And of course, education what was given, I will not talk here, it will take at least 2-3 hours to talk about that, what is the kind of education. I have understood little bit about it. And Vyakarana is very profound, very great, and people have accepted it, we do not read that way. And prosody, that is the and Chandas basically, how to do that is an art, it does also require a lot of mind, we do not do that today. Nirukta etymologies, like how these words are formed, we do not know. If I ask somebody, so how this word has come, let us say Manav, Manav kisko kahoge, man what do you call? Oh no, no, Manav is man, that is not, you are having some definition, certain things, properly it is being spelled out, science is there, it is a very beautiful, we do not do that. Jyotisha is being looked down upon today because of business, because of misuse of it. And Kalpa, rules of rituals, whatever the rituals there should be some rules and it is having certain reason, those are we do not know, it has to be looked at, research has to be done. So, if you look at Upavedas, of course, they are divided into 4 parts, one is Ayurveda, most of you will be aware because it is coming up again, and unfortunately Ayurveda is being practiced in the form of allopathy, people have not understood. They should use through the tenets of that and then practice that way. I will not elaborate on that, and I will just inform you that these are the things one can look at: Dhanur Vedas, Gandhar Vedas and Artha Vedas, that is about economy, and all those things together. If you look at Artha Veda economy, you can think of Silpa Samhita. I have already talked about little bit what do you mean by Silpa in the first lecture. So, what I will do, basically you can say Silpa Samhita is basically engineering or technology treatise kind of things. It will be about Dhatu Khanda, about earth science, about what are the things are there. Sadhana Khanda is basically about transportations like sea transportation and then what you call road transportation. Of course, people are claiming that there is a air transportation, but I do not know that, but at least sea and then sheep and then other thing we can accept. Okay. Architecture, the Vastu Khanda, there is we are having Vastu Shastra, it is now a very big business, people are making lot of, they are fooling the people also, one has to be careful. And then when you talk about this earth science is basically agriculture, because agriculture was a very part of our civilization even today, till today, although we lost the way to western people, now again the agriculture is coming up with a new name of organic farming, but that is our way of doing it and we must relearn it, not from the western people, from our scriptures and improvise it if it is required at this moment. Jalasastra, water is very important, and mining, the Khanisastra is also one can look at it, and If you look at Krishi Shastra, is basically Vriksha Vidya like plantations, Pasu Vidya about animal science, Manishya Vidya like human resources, like it is a part of Krishi, like it is a part of Krishi. So, how to make them this thing? Jala Shastra will be about scriptures of water, Sansechana Vidya, they basically irrigation, and Sangrahana Vidya, drainage of water, like how to transport and other things, and Stambhana Vidya, storage of water, because water storing is very important. And it is a very natural way people have done. I will be talking about that when I will talk about water harvesting, how natural it was to us. And if you look at the Khani Shastra, is Pruthhikaran, separation of metal that we do in modern time, and Bhasmikaran Vidya, calcination, I will be talking about that later on. And Sankara Vedha, making of alloys we are having, you might be knowing most of the temples we are having any metal, it will be Panchadhatu, Ashtadhatu, Navadhatu, these are all nothing but alloys. And Dhruti Vidya, gemology, like gems, like we are very good people are using lot of things earlier, they were knowing how to do that. And transportation, if you look at Nauka Shastra, like boats making, Ratha Shastra, horse riding, Agneya Shastra, people call it space travel, I do not know about that, but at least I can say that Nauka Shastra we are having evidence, Ratha Shastra anyway we are there. So, these are thing has to be looked at it. But when I am saying I do not know, that does not mean we will not look at it, we look at with a pinch of salt, with a mind to unravel, prove that it is right, not go by emotion, go by the something. So, Tari Vidya, raft makings, No Vidya, construction of boats, Nauka Vidya, construction of ships, right, all were having. And Ratha Shastra, of course. So, these are the Jukti Kalpataru, Artha Shastra, these are the scriptures available, and Ratha Lakkhanam, Sukraniti, Artha Shastra, right, these are the things from where you will get some information about this. Ashwabhida, horse riding, Pathavidya, road construction, Ghanta, Pathavidya, hill roads, like roads will be hillside one, Setuvidya, bridge construction. So, if you look at Agni Yana Shastra, what people are giving Yanta Sarvasha, Agastha Samhita, Samarangana Sutta, these are the books whatever people have collected. And Sakunta Vidya, Bard's training, they were doing earlier days to train the Bard to give the information, Biman Vidya, air and spacecraft. So, about the what you call architecture, about building, fort making and town planning, I will be talking about town planning, and also about the rural areas, how you can make buildings kind of things. I will be talking about that. Of course, I will not be touching upon fort making, because from these two we can learn a lot how we can do. And I think this Brahma Shastra, if you look at how to look at Baso Vidya, tents, people were making tents and huts, Kuti Vidya, Mandira Vidya, I will be talking about how to make the huts, where people are using, Mandira Vidya I may not, Prasada Vidya like palaces, and Nagar Rachana Shastra, town planning I will be talking about, Apana Vidya, market, Rajaguru Vidya, Sarvajana Vasa Vidya, public places, Banopana Vidya, garden, how will do, and Devala Vidya, temples. So, I will be talking about in town planning only the buildings, I will not be touching upon temples, is a very vast subject, So, and this fort making I will not be talking about the Durga Vidya, forts, castle like Kuta Vidya, Akar Vidya like moats, you people might be knowing, is basically drench, which will be having this thing, Yuddha Vidya, warfare. So, what I will be now, I will be stopping over here, and then we have seen what is the plethora of knowledge our ancestors were having, but we will be discussing some of them only. Okay. So, you have seen the whole gamut like of the things whatever they required for leading a very nice life and also a very productive and balanced life. Some of the technology are required, and we will be looking as you go along with that. And in the next lecture, I will be talking about how our people who are doing science, what are the basic principles they were following, that we will be looking at in the next lecture. Thank you very much.